Hi, I'm Javelle if you don't know me already, and I am a certified personal stylist here in Perth, Australia. And in my last YouTube video, I talked about illusion dressing in terms of being able to minimize your shape to create a slimmer, leaner physique. But not every one of my clients wants a slimmer physique. Sometimes they actually want to be able to create shape or further enhance details of their body. So how do you do this? Well, I'm going to teach you how to create shape through illusion dressing. The very first way to do this is through color and patterns. And I'm typically wearing one of those examples now. If you watched my last YouTube video, I would have talked about vertical stripes in being able to create a leaner physique. Well, in opposite horizontal stripes, like those that I'm wearing, enhance figures. So they can make busts and shoulders look wider. They can make hips look wider, thighs. Wherever you place horizontal stripes is going to allow you to enhance these features and make them look bigger than what they are. So for those of you that want to look like you have a larger bust, or maybe enhance all that hard work that you're doing in the gym for your hips and your booty, then horizontal stripes you want to place in these areas. And the reason because of this is that it draws the eye across the body, therefore creating the illusion of extra width and therefore shape as well. Similarly to horizontal stripes, using color and other patterns can help to do the same. Our eye is drawn to bright colors. So wherever we place these bright colors is where our eye is going to focus and it's going to draw attention. So you could place bright colors on your bust, for instance, as a female, and draw the eye to these areas, which can be an illusion to enhance these areas as it draws the eye away from the areas that you may want to minimize. For instance, if I wanted to minimize my stomach or maybe my hips, I want to draw the eye away from these areas and enhance up above, like my shoulders and my bust. So this is where I'd want to place bright colors, such as this striped knit top that I'm wearing today. You could even, for instance, use fluoro colors. Bright blazers are perfect for enhancing and bringing the eye to other parts of your features that you may want to create more shape. Another pattern that is great for enhancing shape, for bringing about more width, is through prints. Now with prints, you have to be really careful. You don't want to be using small prints, because your eye is not going to be drawn to these small prints. What you want is bold, large prints. This is a perfect example here. Yes, it's a bright color, but even if this was in muted colors paired with something really simple like a black pant, a really large print makes the area underneath it seem larger. So for instance, if I was to wear this blazer, it would make my shoulders and my bust appear larger than what they are, therefore creating more shape. If I was to wear a similar print on the bottom half of my body, it would make my thighs, my hips, and my bottom appear larger than what it really is. In contrast, if you were to mix prints, for instance, you'd want to place the larger print where you want to enhance the shape and create more width and the illusion of more shape, whether it's through your curves or through your bust. So always place the smallest print in the areas that you want to minimize, the larger print in the areas that you want to maximize or enhance. The second trick for creating shape is to use details such as ruching. Now, ruching works quite similar in horizontal stripes, in the effect that it creates a detail within the garment that draws the eye across the body. Now, when this dress is worn, it creates all these little pleats and folds that run across the body, therefore acting exactly the same as a horizontal stripe, as I just explained. By drawing the eye across the body, it creates the illusion of extra width, and therefore a dress like this is going to enhance the widest part of your body. So therefore the shoulders, the bust for females, the hips, the thighs and the bottom. For guys, it's very similar in the fact that it's going to enhance your shoulders and your chest if you were to wear ruching, though not many guys do, as well as through the bottom. You could even do this in really simple methods as well. I showed you this blazer before. It's a favorite of mine, and it has this great ruching detail across the hip where it sits. So this detail here is going to draw the eye to the hips, therefore creating balance between a wide shoulder and creating the illusion of a wider hip. It's all these little details that can create, or I guess should say, create the illusion of further shape when there really is none below. And that is a trick in illusion dressing, creating that very illusion. Big shoulders have been on trend for quite a while, and it's fantastic news for those of you that feel like you need to balance out wider hips and want to create more shape up through your shoulders. So ways that you can do this is with ruching, again with pleating, is to get shirts like this one here with this great enhanced puff sleeve and ruching through the shoulder. Puff sleeves are really on trend, and they're fantastic for those that want to create more shape through the shoulders that can help balance out wider hips. Just a really simple way that you can do this. I explained before, this is another garment that's very similar. It's got some big pockets and ruching on the hips, so therefore it's going to create the illusion of a wider hip. So for those of you that feel like you have a really broad shoulders, it's a comment I hear a lot from clients, broad shoulders, and you want to create the illusion of a wider hip to balance out those shoulders, then garments that have that ruching, like the dress, you could get ruching in a skirt, or even ruching details like this skirt on the pocket are going to create that illusion for you because it draws the eye in a horizontal plane to areas, therefore creating the illusion of more shape. Now, I've talked about how patterns, prints, and garment details can create the illusion of shape and width. However, clothing itself in its shape can do exactly the same. Now, for those of you that want to create the illusion of wider hips, or maybe a bigger bottom, or want to even balance out broad shoulders, then you can do this by wearing garments below in A-line or wide shapes. An A-line shape draws your eye in at the waist and then it flares out, giving the illusion of wider hips underneath and can help balance out broad shoulders. Wide leg pants and culottes would do exactly the same as an A-line skirt as well. If you want to create more shape in the shoulders, so you want to make those shoulders look bigger, or even for those of you, as I said before, that want to create balance and you've got wide hips and you want to really balance those out, then wearing garments that have more bulk on the shoulders is going to help to do this. So you can do this through the classic means of a blazer or tops with shoulder padding detail. You can also do this through garments, as I explained before, with puff and ruching details specifically on the shoulders. Because these create extra width on your shoulders, they're going to create the illusion of wider, broader shoulders coming outwards and can help balance out wider hips. So if you feel bottom heavy, this is a really great way to balance that out, and vice versa with an A-line skirt, it can really help you balance out broad shoulders if you feel you're too narrow through the hips. The last way to use illusions to create more shape is through accessories, namely belts. Belts are a really great way for creating shape through your midsection, through your waistline. So many of my clients want that typical, or I should say stereotypical, feminine silhouette where it's out at the shoulders, nipped in at the waist, and scoops out through the hips and the bottom. But what if you naturally don't have that shape? I mean, so many of us don't have that stereotypical female shape. So how do you do this? Well, it's through a belt or cinching garments in. These, by cinching through the waistline, it draws the waistline inwards, which means anything on either side appears wider, therefore creating that stereotypical hourglass feminine silhouette. This is especially important for those that feel like they have a shape that is straight up and down or more masculine. If you want to create more shape, more femininity into your outfits, consider cinching pants and skirts inwards or even dresses as well. By cinching through that waistline, as I mentioned, it draws the eye in, it creates this beautiful dip on the sides, and it makes hips and shoulders, even bust sometimes, appear bigger than what they are, in contrast to a nipped in waist. For more waist, the wider the belt can often happen. So for more attention to the waist, a wider belt can often happen. We've seen that trend of corset belting. This can do the same. But even just a beautiful thin belt through the waistline can still create the illusion of a smaller waist and therefore more shape through the hips, thighs, bust, and shoulders. Now, I know these are just some simple tricks, but believe me, they work, and they're using garments that you already have in your wardrobe. There's no need to go out and purchase any more clothing. Use what you already have, reduce landfill, but these small tips and tricks are really going to help you see your body in new light in front of the mirror. And of course, trick those people that are viewing you on the street, from strangers to family and friends. I hope these help, and I can't wait to see you next time.